Hey everyone, welcome to the RoadMap, Benzinga's new NFT show. In the last few episodes, we have featured some great interviews with the teams behind the Vogu Collective, Robotos, and the Doge Pound NFT. Today, we are featuring an interview with the hottest new NFT launch around, On1 Force. Guys, get hyped for this episode. We've got a lot to talk about with the team, but without further ado, this is the RoadMap. All right, guys. Yeah, get hyped up. We got a big show today. We got coming on with us On1 Force. I mean, talk about a huge launch. Let me go ahead. I'm going to bring on my co-host, Maz. What's going on, buddy? How hyped are you for today's show?
What's up, Chris? What's going on, On1 Force fam? Today's episode's going to be awesome. I'm super excited. How you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling great. I mean, we just launched this show, Maz. We've had some big interviews, some big projects with some big followings, and none bigger than today, right? We've got On1 Force, a huge Discord community, a huge Twitter following. They're breaking records with sales. They've got celebrities, in the project. I mean, there's so much to talk about, Maz. So, instead of doing our normal headlines talking about the news of NFTs or other, projects, we're just going to dive right in, right, and get into On1 Force. Before we do that, though, for any new viewers out there, I just got to ask, make sure you like the stream, you hit subscribe. If you want to be able to chat with us today and possibly ask a question to the On1 Force team, you need to be a Benzinga subscriber and go ahead and drop those questions in the chat for us. We'll try to get to some at the end. And Maz, we're also going to be giving away an NFT later on in the show, but that's only for our YouTube subscribers. So, everyone, make sure you're subscribed so you have a chance to win this NFT on today's episode.
Yes, make sure to subscribe. We're bringing NFT content twice a week. So we are just, we're getting started in this whole NFT world. So let's get it going.
Perfect. So let me talk a minute about the project. So we have On1 Force, which launched a week ago, a mint cost of 0.0777, sold out in 5 minutes, 7,777 units, side profile characters, over 100 hand-drawn features fighting for their existence. Want to give everyone some stats. A lot of you guys who have followed the project already know that. But in 7 days, this is the number 12 project on OpenSea of all time. Not just for the week, but of all time. 31,000 ETH in sales, $100 million in 1 week. It took a Bored Ape Yacht Club has been out 4 months, and they're at 100,000 ETH just for comparison. Stats over on CryptoSlam say that in the last 24 hours, $5.9 million in this project, 98.8 million over the last 7 days, ranking 4th, trailing only Art Blocks, CryptoPunks, and Axie Infinity. And all-time number 7, $100.9 million. Current floor price, 3.98 ETH for an On1 Force. I mean, these are insane, Maz. So before we bring on the crew, I know you want to talk a little bit about the artwork and the background on this project. So I'm going to hand it off to you. What do you got, Maz?
Well, first of all, that floor price is a steal right now, by the way. But yes, let's get into the art. So the art is created by an artist named Brian Lai. He's also the creator of the God Complex creation, which reimagines traditional gods of the old and puts them in contemporary settings and issues like you're seeing here. Brian also designed the complex Bored Apes, which were inspired by the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Really cool pieces. One of my favorite derivatives of the Bored Apes. If you look here, yeah, the Ethereum one's my favorite, actually. Yes, this one right here is so cool. So, yes, which combines his work with the Bored Ape project, which leads us to today. He is the designer of the On1 Force project. So, it has over 100 hand-drawn features, which he has drawn. I think this was his first profile picture. This is, his profile picture here. And it has over 200 different attributes, which I'm a big fan of because it has specific traits for people with disabilities, which brings the characters to a much more personal level. So I'm curious to hear more about the artwork, how it came to life, and really, really am a big fan of the artist, Brian. So yeah, without further ado, let's get the team on.
Perfect. Thanks so much for sharing that, Maz. Great background information on the project. So we don't just have one person today. We've got a whole crew with us from On1 Force. I mean, they agreed to come on and they said, hey, we're bringing everyone with us. So I want to try to bring everyone on here. So we have Crypto Spaces from the tech team. We have Link, or M, as you know, from the Discord community relations. We also have Strawberry. Strawberry is the dungeon master. we have the artist with us, and we're also waiting on JR, the project manager, to join us as well. Everyone, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining us. We're so excited to talk all things On1 Force today.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right. So, guys, if you have questions out there, go ahead, drop them in the chat. I'll try to get to them at the end of this interview, but we're going to dive into some questions here. So, and whoever wants to take a stab at any of these, we'll try to circle around so everyone can kind of have a chance. The first question is, how did this project get put together? The team came together from Clubhouse. Anyone want to share the backstory on the creation of this team and the project?
Yeah, definitely. So, at the height of the pandemic, I think a lot of us were really suffering from social connection, right? And Clubhouse was a social audio app that came out, and it was at the beginning of 2021 where it was really this heightened sense of connecting back with the individuals around you. I mean, we were just wanting to reconnect with our community. And I found Clubhouse and dove in, art first. And then later on, tech came up, and I heard, the crossover between NFTs and art. And I obsessively was in rooms 24/7, learning about crypto, learning about the blockchain, learning about how I could better myself and be more sovereign in the art space for me. And then we kind of were all hanging out with each other because I met, I Am Complex, and JR was also someone that was really avid in the Clubhouse spaces that talked about NFTs and art. And then lo and behold, around February, found Strawberry, and Strawberry and Crypto Spaces are like two peas in a pod with their projects that they've done. And now here we are.
Awesome. And we've got JR joining us as well. Welcome to you. If you want to share, JR, maybe a little bit on the background here on how this project launched and getting the team together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sorry if it's a little loud. I just got to the airport, so I appreciate you having us. But yeah, the background story is beautiful. Very serendipitous. I was a huge fan of the Gorillas' artwork and their style. And what happened was I started creating my own artwork in the style of Gorillas and by Jamie Hewlett, and I realized I can't do this. It doesn't look nearly as good as I would hope. And I was on Instagram scrolling, and I saw literally 2-3 minutes later, I saw I Am Complex's work, and I was like, I need this to happen. This needs to happen. And so I sent him a DM on Instagram, and I said, hey, I have a great idea that I think we could.
He has been rugged.
I think we lost JR.
There he is.
Got JR back. Go ahead. Keep going with your train of thought there.
I was like, this needs to happen. And yeah, and it was magic since then. And then I met Strawberry in LA, and I knew Strawberry from Rare Pizzas, and he brought on Crypto Spaces, and then we needed kind of like a community manager, and I met M in Clubhouse, and she is amazing. Like, she is the kindest heart, and just really, really a great addition to the team too. So it all just went together very, very, very smoothly. So I'm just really happy to have this team.
Awesome. We're so happy to hear that as well. Obviously, I talked those stats at the start. So over the last 7 days, I mean, you could definitely say that this project has been a success. It's been well received. I know when you guys launched this, you probably had some expectations, some goals. Can you just talk a little bit, what were the expectations, for this launch, and, did this well exceed those original expectations?
Are we asking
I'm
this
so
in
sorry.
general?
Can you repeat that? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so JR, so launching the project, you probably had some expectations, how quick it could sell out, or if it would sell out, over multiple days with the large community. What were some of the expectations, and did you, imagine, in your wildest dreams, this kind of success and sales volume in the first 7 days?
Not
If
sure if
anyone
he's
else
having,
wants to jump
yeah,
in,
not sure if he's
it looks
having
like-
connection issues.
Yep.
I'm sure I can jump in on this.
Yeah,
for
go
you.
for it. Go for it.
I mean, this has gone above and beyond I think anyone and everyone's expectations in regards to an NFT project. I mean, when we started this, I mean, we were friends, we still are, but we were just kind of coming up with a great idea and wanted to create this metaverse, create this idea, and see kind of like what we could do. We knew we had some fantastic artwork. We knew we had a great development team in crypto spaces. We knew M would provide a great community management and a Discord setting that people could grow in and enjoy. And then JR just really went above and beyond with getting connected with everyone around us. And then because of all of those things, I mean, at first, very fun in the Discord. We're role playing, we're talking, we're engaging with the community. It was small and tight knit. However, the community is really what made this what it is.
Mm-hmm.
We introduced a lot of role playing into this project because, again, it goes very well with the anime style, and myself in particular. I've liked to play tabletop RPGs for much of my life, but the community just started adding their input. They started writing, creating, making up characters and areas and places in the story. And very quickly, other people caught on to this, and it became its own living, breathing thing. And then once the Discord started to grow, I would say somewhere between like the 5,000 and 7,000 people mark. That's sort of when it just went hyperbolic, and we realized that we truly had something amazing on our hands.
Anyone want to talk, a little bit about, marketing or getting word of mouth out for this project? It seemed like this thing caught fire in a hurry. There's JR.
What's up, JR?
This project caught fire, in a hurry. A lot of people talking about it. A lot of people joined in. Was there a marketing plan, behind this going into the launch date, and what was it?
Yeah, so as far as marketing, I think we used a variety of tactics. How's my volume, by the way?
You're perfect. We can hear you so much better.
All right, beautiful. So what I at least did at first was we were very fortunate enough to have a solid foundation, a solid community. So all of us were kind of embedded in the Clubhouse community, where every day till about 5 a.m. we'd be in Clubhouse just talking about NFTs. And so we had a really solid base to start, and we kind of ran with that. And one tip for everyone out there is, at least for my marketing strategy, to really broaden our reach is doing giveaways. So we always want to give back to the community, and when someone sees an amazing work of art and they want to win it, they're gonna they're gonna share, they're gonna retweet. So that was one strategy we did. We kept 77 Onis on the side that we're using for giveaways, most particularly for those that were active members in the community. A lot of artists received some, and we knew that gifting some of these Onis to just really standing members in the community, that they'd be willing to share it without us even asking. And so that's kind of happened, and it organically grew. We didn't spend one dime in ad spend, and we organically just kind of grew the Twitter, the Discord, and I would love for M or Strawberry to talk about the Discord, because my goal was to get everyone from Twitter into Discord, and that's where the real fun begins. So, M or Strawberry, do you want to talk about the lore of the Discord that really got the community talking about this project?
No, yeah, definitely. I'd love to. So the team came to me and they're like, okay, like, let's have you build a Discord. And I was a Discord noob. I didn't really know anything about it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go just super hardcore and look up everything that I can and become an expert overnight. And so I implemented most of the basic foundations in Discord, like, okay, we need this, and just really kind of built things up. And then I kind of really went into a lot of one of the reasons why I do enjoy I'm Complex's artwork. It touches a really nostalgic part of my childhood, and that's the anime side of me. I'm a weeb, and that to me is a very proud thing because I, grew up on Legend of Zelda. I, played Pokemon, and so I started to add those things into the Discord. Like, let's have Pokeworld in here. Let's have a weeb radio where people can listen to anime, uh, lo-fi beats in here. I just want it all, and once that kind of took place and it grew, I felt like I had found my home, not only in the NFT space, but like all of the people that started to talk about the anime and manga. And I also played role play games. Like, I grew up in the era of RuneScape and Habbo Hotel. Like, our generation is the generation where we came up on the technology side of things. We grew up with it. And now us as adults, we get to take what we've been doing as our jobs and have it be this fun thing that we used to do as kids. And that to me is what I really wanted to highlight, was that nostalgic part in the Discord. Because we would also stream just like these really small viewing parties of anime. And after that, it was just kind of like, again, with what Strawberry said, it went hyperbolic. And then we had to like shift gears real quick because we were growing so fast. It was time to implement Mod Squad, and begin to direct some type of element where characters in the Discord that had first arrived, we had 3 main ones. And that was Death, Mikasa, and Moria, where they're these elusive Onis that have landed in the Discord inside of the Ethereal Enclave and have interacted with the community. And at first, we didn't know how they were going to react, and I say we didn't know how I mean the community, but they took to it. And then slowly, Moria had come in and explained, that Nameless, once we took away someone's name, Nameless was a transformation of self. It was almost like an exposure of who you really were. And we took away your identity and you became the shadow profile picture. And then once one person, they're like, my name's gone. Like, there's just that identity that gets stripped. They're like, my name's gone. Like, and then when we slowly, Moria started to pick people off, everyone's like, yo, what's happening? And that's kind of like how the Nameless thing started, because you ended up taking their identity, but they unified with not having an identity. And they went with Nameless, and we, gave them custom shadow profile pictures, and then they really ran with it. And then from Death and Mikasa's side, we dove into their lives, where we would see them interacting inside of this quote unquote ethereal enclave, where I created the stories were being put in our general chat. And I was like, I cannot have this in general. This needs to be archived. Created a place called Oni Daily Living, and the Nameless took to their characters. What are they? Who are they in this world? How do I act? How do I move? What does it feel like being nameless? And Death interacts with these characters. Mikasa develops these characters, and you kind of just, this lore begins to kind of expand within the community. And I truly believe that that's the very special edge that we have because I've never seen that in any Discord I've ever participated with an NFT project. I've just never seen that type of, I mean, like the writers inside of our Discord are, they're poets. It's so good. So I had to throw it out to the nameless. I had to throw it out to those that wrote such wonderful excerpts of just awesome literature. You could literally pull from our Discord and straight up write a comic or a manga, like no joke.
Love
Perfect.
that.
I know everyone wants to get into the artwork. We're going to get into that with Maz in a minute here. I want to talk a little bit about some of the celebrities, that have bought into this project. So we have Logan Paul, Gary Vee, Steve Aoki, also some investors like Chris Camillo, who I know from the stock market world, buying into this project. So I Am Complex. What kind of validation to the artwork here? By having these celebrities buy in and also changing their profile pictures out there to match On1 Force.
It was definitely beyond my wildest dream, guys. When I designed this, I mostly just look inwards. I guess I kind of identify with a lot of problems that we're facing this past few years, and obviously we've all been isolated, and like with the good music and all that. I feel that I'm just glad that aspect of this project that I really want to highlight, the music aspect, the lo-fi aesthetic, the kind of chill vibe. I think it must have resonated with a lot of people, due to the fact that we're all isolated. So yeah, I don't know. I guess right now I'm still processing things, with all this big celebs and all that. I guess in some ways that we thought that they are above, or I don't know, like a lot of people think they're unreachable, but in essence, they feel the same way that a lot of us do. And I guess by the fact that they see this and they want to take a part of it, I hope that's also like the biggest reason why they jump into it, because they simply can connect to the feeling that I try to. That's my answer.
That's perfect. JR, you want to talk just a little bit before I turn it over to Maz here? What does it mean to have celebrities, follow along and get hyped about this project?
Well, I think it's massive for the brand. It goes to show that we are here to stay. We are not going anywhere. We have some of the largest names in the world today that are interested in our projects and that want to be a part of the On1 Force. And it only adds validation to what we've been building the last 2 months. And those are just a few of the names. There are so many more others. We're actually in talks right now with not only celebrities, but brands that want to use the On1 Force with, and I'm talking global brands that everyone knows in their household that have already reached out to us and were like, we want to be a part of the On1 Force. What we have to do and what we are doing is, I got great advice from Crypto Spaces and Strawberry, was we need to take a break. We need to take a breather and not jump at everything that's thrown at us at once. And that's what we're doing now. So we're taking a breather where we're enjoying this attention, and it's a beautiful thing. But now we have to start weighing out our options and really thinking this through. But it's beautiful. It gets me excited when I see another new, not only just celebrities, but everyone jumping on board and supporting this project. So it definitely helps with marketing. I'll tell you that much. It makes my job a lot easier when someone like Logan Paul is posting about it, or Steve Aoki. So I'm really grateful for all of them. And yeah, it's just the start. It's only been 1 week since we revealed. It's crazy.
Awesome. I'm going to turn it over to you, Maz, for more questions here to kick us off.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the artwork, but just talking back to the following, right? 31,000 on Twitter, 21,000 on Discord. How do you guys manage such a large community? And I know it's growing fast. So are you guys changing anything up within the community as well?
I have to shout out really quickly our mod squad.
Yeah.
They're amazing. We were blessed to have these early on people that were contributive to the community, very conducive to a very healthy environment, where we felt like that they were very representative of what we wanted moving forward, and with how fast we were growing. It's there's two there's the Oni the sorry we have the favored, and it's just titles in our Discord. We have the favored, and we also have the supreme Onis that have now been a very just their part to keeping everything going is such a strong force that I can't thank them enough. They do such a great job. They're global. So when when I come in the morning, and we have those that are on the western side, we kind of switch off to them who they're in the eastern part of the world. So there's just like this really good handoff of everyone just doing the best that they can to support ticket individuals, to really kind of air out like just conversations with the Discord. I just cannot thank my favorite and my supreme mods enough. I don't think that the community would be as seamless without them. So I just had to shout them out like super quick because they're so important.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I've been in the Discord myself lately, and it's just a great community. I think that Discord is probably it is the strongest community I've seen as far as any NFT project that I've been in the last couple months or so. So absolutely shout out to the community, shout out to the mods. Amazing job. So next question for you guys is, every Oni has a spirit, strength, and style score. Can you guys tell us how these are going to be incorporated into the character's lore?
I would love to speak on that. I'll share my mic
Yeah.
too. How's everyone going?
Oh, what's up, Strawberry?
What's up? Yeah, so we had this idea very early on that we wanted to add a little bit something extra to the project. Obviously, with a lot of the projects that have come out, traits are the priority in regards to rarity, figuring out what's cool, what people like, what traits work out really well. Well, in addition, we had this great idea to incorporate 3 different unique levels, which strength, spirit, and style. What they are is still going to remain a mystery for the greater good. However, I will tell you that we're working on some RPG elements within the Discord, within perhaps a tabletop realm. I'm just working on a couple of different ideas right now. It's very base level. But you will see those numbers usable in some form in the near future. And with that, yeah. And so with that, the numbers are something that's random, just like the traits, which makes it a lot of fun. And it also just, again, gives a little bit more uniqueness to each one of the Oni, and how that will happen, or how those stats will work. Again, still working through this. I mean, again, a week in, we have a lot to discuss internally. We have some really fantastic announcements and other things that we're working on at the same time, but I definitely want people to be hyped for the stats. I think we have some really exciting ideas, and I can't wait to share them.
Dude, that's amazing. I'm excited for you guys. I'm going to definitely be really quick. My brother's first NFT was an Oni Force NFT. He minted it. He didn't tell me, and he is hooked, man. He's hooked into this world, and I'm jealous I didn't get to mint one, but yeah, love the art. Can you guys tell us a little bit more about the derivative contest going on and all the amazing fan art that we're seeing on Twitter?
I actually have the flyer pulled up right now. We are running a derivative contest. That was something that we really wanted to highlight on our map. So we're running it from Monday, August 23rd through Sunday, August 29th. And a lot of the artists are only allowed 1 entry. We have a channel where they can submit their entry. It is called Oni Derivative Contest. And if you don't have to have an Oni to enter. I think we really wanted to make it accessible. Obviously, the price point for Onis are not as accessible to everyone that we would like them to be, because it just climbed super fast. So you don't have to have an Oni to enter, but you do have to have one submission that you feel like is your best. If you do not have an Oni, you may use mine. It's Oni 6844 as your base to create on top of the derivative, or you may use someone's Oni with their granted permission. Reach out if they grant you their permission to be like, yeah, use my Oni, use my Kami, use my Bakemono, my Yokai, go ahead, do it. Totally, use it and begin to create on top of your artwork. You can hand draw it, you can digitally draw it. There's no restrictions other than it just coming from your hands, and having an Oni if you don't already, or using one with permission. And then there will be a rigorous process where there's a lot of great submissions already, but we're going to do the best to select 5 of them. And it ends on Sunday. And then the community is going to decide from the 29th through August 31st what Oni derivative will win an Oni Force NFT. So we hope that everyone, comes out and joins. It's been a lot of fun. There's so many, just the talent is amazing.
Yeah. No, I've seen some really cool pieces, and I even think FaZe Banks tweeted out that he wants someone to make a derivative of his piece that he owns. So it's going to be interesting to see, all these cool artists come together and bring on the Oni Force team. So that's awesome. JR, I know you talked a little bit about collaborations. Can you tell us a little bit more about the future? I know you guys are still working on a lot of things. As far as collaborations, maybe give the community a teaser.
Yeah, I can give a teaser. Giving a teaser is what I'll do, because I don't want my team to yell at me. We have I can now we do have a collaboration coming out in the next, I'd say, 3 to 4 days. Is what I can say. And so definitely look for that. I don't want to give any more information on that because I don't want to get yelled at in the back afterwards. But it was funny too. A little funny story. Like so the artwork that came out, my team didn't even let me see the artwork. Like the last maybe 50 traits, I kept showing way too much away, and I was like, I love seeing. Like I want to show everyone. Like this is amazing. This is amazing. And they're like, JR, stop showing off traits. And I'm like, all right. So I've been getting a lot better, and so yeah, just definitely keep your eyes peeled in the next few days. And I can tell you this: we have currently right now, and this is just because I'm going to tease it, we have 3 collaborations in the works right now. So Definitely keep your eyes open. We have 3 going on at once right now, and they're going to be spaced out nicely. But I kept telling everyone, everyone's going crazy. Is we've only been live for 7 days. In the NFT space is literally 20 times faster than the real world. So it seems like everything's going because it is. But yeah, so we have 3 collaborations coming up, and one's gonna be dropping in the next I'd say 2 to 3 days.
Dude, that's amazing. So you heard it here first. 2 to 3 days coming up. That's exciting. So Crypto Spaces, I have a question for you. The minting process was very smooth. Could you tell us a little bit more about what went, into putting the contract together?
A lot of hard work, a lot of sleepless nights, and 1 second, my headphone is acting up. No, so what specifically about the smart contract would you like to know?
So just a little bit more about what it takes to make, a generative drop like this from a technical standpoint, just maybe a little bit of, because we've seen drops, sometimes they're not as smooth as this was smooth.
Yeah, so in order to do that, it requires a lot of planning. So once I got handed all the artwork from I'm Complex, then it was up to Strawberry and myself to figure out these 3 separate types of Onis. There's the yokai, there's the bakemono, and then there's the Onis. And each of these types have different traits and different attributes and in different distributions. So Strawberry did a tremendous job on calculating distribution and naming them and making sure that certain types got certain attributes and other types didn't. And then I went to coding, where I would I wrote all these, basically this entire pipeline that would take in this information. It would, based on the weighting of certain traits, it would pick an item and then spit out basically a ONI recipe. The only problem was with the artwork of Brian being so detailed and complex was that there's a lot of traits that don't go well with other traits. So for example, there's these caps and there's hats, and that doesn't work with every hairstyle. So if you have spiky hair, you can't wear a cap, for example, or if you have the high ponytail, you can't wear a fedora. So there's all these exclusions that or exceptions that I had to put in as well, where certain hair types go over jackets, then there are certain hair types that go into the colors. Earrings that go over, earrings that go under. There's a tremendous amount of exceptions. So all of that was required extensive and careful planning. And Strawberry and I, we went back and forth trying to figure that out. And then the smart contract itself is actually fairly straightforward. It's ERC 721. It doesn't do like very special or interesting things. But the issue with blockchain and NFTs is that it's very unforgiving. If you put one line wrong or incorrect, all of the funds might be locked up, or nobody might be able to get paid. The entire 6 weeks of work could be all for naught, right? So that makes it that makes that part extremely stressful, although it's fairly simplistic in coding and logic. But you only get one chance, and if you blow it, it's over. It's the end of the project.
Yeah, well, amazing job with that.
Everything went super smooth.
Yeah, what a smooth launch, what a smooth minting process. I want to dive a little bit into the artwork and traits here. I heard that there are some hidden traits. Can anyone talk about some of these hidden traits that may not be noticeable, and give us a peek at that?
I guess it really depends on if you're talking pre-launch. Is that what we're addressing? Because there were hidden traits, but I mean, everything's kind of been revealed, you know? So are we talking about pre-launch?
Yeah, so pre-launch and some of the hidden traits and maybe some other projects, tributes within the traits.
Ah, absolutely. I will speak on behalf of there's a trait that I'm Complex really put into our collection, and then I can hand it off to Strawberry. But one of the traits for me that personally blew my mind was obviously the commies were super hidden. I was shaking in my pants because I wanted to say something whenever commies got revealed. I'm Complex was like, we're going to make 7 of these. They're gods. They're going to be facing the other way. And when he was like, this is one of them. And I couldn't, I was speechless. And then for me personally, prior to, as an artist, I've always been a realist, a surrealist artist in abstract work. And now for those that don't know, I do yoni artwork. Look it up, Google it. It's a pretty sacred term. But there was a pin that I Am Complex had kind of just aired a symbol of just the power of women, having this empowerment and just the representation that I absolutely adore. Just being represented at a collection, because Maz highlighted earlier that there's a lot of representation in some of the traits with a hearing aid and now with a yoni pin. And that to me meant a lot. I am a BIPOC artist, and I was marginalized my whole life. And that was just an air to really bring out a lot of the unity and representation in some of these projects that we are now slowly starting to see. And then I'll hand it off to Strawberry, because I think his project airs just beautifully to another trait that I Am Complex highlighted.
Yeah, so we all kind of ended up with some really fantastic tributes to either ourselves or community members. Prior to this project, Crypto Spaces and I worked on our own personal project. I had created strawberry.wtf, fun 10,000 generative pixel art strawberries. And so kindly, I'm Complex included an adorable strawberry pin. I'm not sure if you could see it on my profile picture here. That's why I jumped back into no camera mode, so that possibility of seeing it. However, yeah, so there's some really fantastic traits that owed to our projects as well as others. I think we're all particular fans of the cool cats. So there's some cat ears that are cool, which is really awesome. There is also a banana pin to show honor to the Bored Apes that came before us. Also a big fan. That was just one of those projects that early in the space, we all kind of, we're just a part of one way or another. So it was really amazing to have the ability or have Brian create these really fantastic tributes to NFT community, odes to ourselves and our projects prior, and just, really be as inclusive as possible, because I think in this new world, there's plenty of space for all of us.
Oh, yes. I'm glad we can see the canary. Strawberry, talk about canary and rose.
Oh, yeah. So then again, I think this kind of goes into the hidden traits that you had been alluding to. We have, again, some really, really fantastic community members. And very early on, they helped create an amazing story, again, that could be transcribed into some sort of manga or novel, if you will. In that, I'm Complex went ahead and created some traits to show honor to them as well. Here we have the canary sitting on a shoulder. There is a community member, one of our mods, Nameless Canary. He has his own personalized trait within the collection. And then in addition, there is another community member mod, Rose. So in that, or with that, we've created also a Rose trait, which you'll find in the face traits, or the head traits, I believe. I'm sorry. And if you scroll down, you'll find the rose. And we just tucked a rose behind the ear of the Oni to give tribute to her as well, because of how much she's contributed to the project.
Love it. Awesome. JR, I Am Complex, Crypto Spaces, we just heard from the rest of the team on some of those traits. Any favorite traits or characteristics you guys want to point out, for maybe Onis in the project?
I think one of the most important part is the inclusivity in this project. So we have the dreads, we have the hearing aid, we have glasses, obviously, so that everyone could feel welcome. It's also not gender specific. It's not only speaking to a male demographic, but also to a female demographic. And then there's this entire mix in between, where there's very masculine looking Onis, but they have earrings or they have eyeshadow. So yeah, I think that is what really makes Onis stand apart from any of the other projects.
Awesome. JR, I Am Complex.
Yeah, me personally, it was funny because I'm Complex. First thing you said is, if there's one trait that you wish you could have in there, what would it be? And I said a fedora. I was like, I want a fedora. And there's the fedora trait in there as well. I have an Oni with the fedora trait. And so that's where that came from. And then me personally, I love the haunted trait. the haunted trait to me, when I first saw that, you have no idea how hard it was for me not to share that on Twitter or Instagram or anything. I was like, yo, I need to share this right now. And they're like, don't you dare do it. I'm like, what about like the day before? They're like, no. They're like, there's no. I'm like, ah. So that, to me, that's probably my favorite trait is the haunted trait for sure. It's just absolutely epic.
Yeah, it's funny that JR mentioned that because JR is our own Tom Holland. Like he likes to spoil stuff. And as far as what I think sets this project apart is I guess like I kind of want to brought us back to the time of our youth. Like that's why like none of this Onis have like beards, things like that. I kind of want to yeah, again, the nostalgia factor, and also the fact that I said this multiple times before again, but I'll say it again. I kind of want to bring emotion back to some of this generative project, because I feel like a lot of crypto currencies philosophy and nature can be as exciting as it is, as groundbreaking as it is. It can be very cynical in nature. So I don't know. I guess like approaching this project, I really want to bring emotion back. Like how do we feel when we see these characters? Can we identify with them? Can we when they're wearing those headphones? Can we kind of imagine ourselves? Listening to the musics that they're listening to. So yeah, I don't know. That's for me. That's my angle.
That's perfect. So we've got a couple questions here from the chat, and then we got a couple fun things to do before we let you guys all take off here. Up first, we had a question from Suki saying, can we have a Wikipedia for Oni for the lore? That would help us create more lore. Any thoughts on that suggestion here from a community member?
Absolutely. So we have, again, I've highlighted very talented writers in the space, but Writer and Philo are two of our mods amongst, Jess and Hannah and Jester, which are super amazing favorites. Writer has kind of done a TLDR, which I will totally post again. It's always in the pinned messages to just go in TLDR, because even the TLDR is pretty extensive. But there is also talk about what we can do moving forward to get everyone on the same page. We were nameless, that was our past, and now when we transformed into Onis, we can now unite and start new and fresh. But there's always going to be that solidifying area of Oni daily living where we can go back and really read the records. So I'll do the best that I can to drop the TLDR of what happened. I used to also do audio readings of the TLDR. But that is something that I will definitely highlight again, whether that be like on our website or like having some sort of blog, just to have records of such history, like taking place.
Perfect. A lot of these other questions from the chat, guys, are mostly about the roadmap, what's to come. People want merchandise. They want, headphones. They want shoes. Someone even said that their daughter wants a plush doll. So JR, thanks for sharing, a little bit about collabs and working with global brands in the future, but we don't want to get into that subject anymore since you already gave us a little bit of teaser. But what we do have planned now is we're actually going to be giving away an NFT live on the show right now. And if we can get that NFT up on the screen, we have a strawberry that we are giving away to someone in the chat right now. So let's go ahead. Maz, do you want to ask the question here that we've got? And I'll just say, guys, so Maz is going to ask a question, and it's Oni related. So Oni team, you can't answer this. This is for our chat.
I hope so. I see Domex in our chat, and he's a mod, so I better not see you answer, Domex.
Yes, okay, so if you're a mod, don't answer. If you're a member of Oni on the screen right now, don't answer. But for everyone else in the chat, Whoever answers this first is getting this strawberry. We'll work out getting that sent to your wallet as soon as we see the correct answer. So go ahead, Maz. What is that question we have today?
All right, let's do it. Okay, so there are many extra features in the Oni designs. 2 of them are Oni dolls. Name both of those dolls. First one to do it gets it. Let's go. We're looking.
All right, guys, who's going to be first in the chat here? You're getting a free NFT live on the show today. I know there's a bit of a lag with the YouTube, so we got to wait a sec here. Oh, I think I saw the answer here.
Yep.
All right, there it is.
Zach. Congratulations,
right.
Zach.
So Zach, we gotta connect with Zach. Make sure we get that NFT. So Zach, if you're on here, go ahead and send us a message on Twitter. Reach out so we know who you are and so we can work out the details to get that sent over to you. Before I let everyone from the Oni team go, we did want to bring on, we have with us today the NFTer who owns 100 On1 Force. How we doing, Ben? Welcome to the stream.
Hey guys, glad to be here.
All right, so Ben, we've got the Oni team with us. Before we let them go, I just wanted to bring you on to say, what's up, and also, speak a little bit about maybe what sparked your interest in this project and why you're such a big fan of On1 Force.
I think what you guys said is really true. It's really the emotional appeal of the artwork. Like whenever I sell any single piece, I do feel the kind of sadness. And I've never felt this with my previous projects. And this is the only one that really made me have a very deep emotional connection. So I think it's really something that the team did that's really it connects on a very human level.
Perfect. So members of the Oni team, anything to say to Ben before we let you go? He's such a big fan. He owns 100 of them out there. What do you think about, someone being so involved in this project?
Take care of our children, Ben.
I'd also like to say, we see he's not only a collector. You see a lot of collectors just collect and then they leave the community and they just hold on to it as investments. But you're an active member in our community, and I just want to say I do appreciate that because it is seen, and the community they look up to you. They really do. And you're giving a lot of our community some hope, and the fact that you're holding so strong is making others really believe in it too. I just want to say I appreciate you.
You are definitely a legend. He is a Oni, almost like a Pokemon master, but you are an Oni master, collecting all of them. You're gonna catch them all.
Gotta catch them all. That's what my kids would say. So definitely. So all right. Well, Oni team, we're gonna let you guys go while we chat with Ben a little bit. You guys can hang out in the background if you want and listen in. But also we'll be trying to do a Twitter Spaces, I believe, tomorrow or next week, talking On1 Force. So you guys are more than welcome to come and join us on there. We'll send you the details soon. But again, On1 Force team, thanks for joining us, and being on the roadmap today.
Yes, thank you guys.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. All right, I am going to remove everyone from the screen here except for Ben, so we can chat a little bit here. So Ben, we got to hear about, why you're such a big fan of this project. So you said, I believe you corrected me, you now own 101 Oni. Walk us through, how many of these did you buy, during the mint process? How many of these did you scoop up after the mint? How many were you buying pre-reveal? Just walk us through how you got to 101 of these being in your wallet.
So I think this is the first time I'm going to review the origin story of how it all went down. And I only got introduced to this project on, I'm based in Singapore, by the way, so it's like 3 a.m. So I still remember that it was Friday at 11:55, 5 minutes before the actual mint. And I got some alpha from someone in a Telegram group that I'm part of, just a random friend that said, hey, this is dropping in 5 minutes, looks pretty cool. And I saw it and I was like, okay, it's going to be a long night again. Because I was prepared to go to bed. So in 5 minutes, I did my research and I was like, this could be the next big thing. And I told myself, let's just get in as much as I can during the mint. And my wife was next to me and she's like, is this going to be another long night? And I was like, yep, you go to bed first. So she went to bed and I tried to get some at mint. I got 0. It was sold out in 5 minutes. I still remember. And I was pretty sad. So I went to OpenSea and I started buying as many as I could, but it was simply going off too fast. So I got a little impatient and I started buying in bundles. So I was like DMing people. I still remember I posted in the general and I said, looking for bundles. How much you want to sell me? I'll take everything. So I managed to get 55 on the first night before I fainted. I think it was like 6 a.m. and I went to bed. My son woke up at 6:30 and that was it. So that was the first night. And then I kept watching the entire community grow and I started seeing the interest level pick up so much. And I still remember that 3 hours before the review, and that was on Sunday 3 a.m. or was it Monday? I can't exactly recall, but it was like 3 a.m. And I knew that 3 hours before I had 55 and I did another number crunching. I did more research and I realized that we were at 39% unique distribution, which I think it's kind of unique and unprecedented in any single NFT project pre-review. So at least in my limited experience, I'm not been around the space for a long time. I've only been in this space for 4 weeks. So yeah, in my limited experience, I think 39% distribution is like pretty healthy and pretty strong. So I told myself that let's make it a nice number. Let's do 77. So I bought 77 and after the review, I managed to get another 14. Yeah, so I had 91, 6 hours post-review, I believe. And I remember that I bought Haunted on the first night, and I bought pretty much a lot of the Onis on the first night as well. On average, I picked them up at about 7, 10, 14, 19.99, which is the one you see there, right there. 137. That's the one, 137 something. Yeah, 19.99. Then I picked up Haunted at 25. And when I went to the highest last sale, I noticed that all of the top 5 were all bought by me. So I was like literally paying the record prices on the first day. And I think a lot of people messaged me on like Discord and say, who are you, man? Why are you buying all this? And why are you overpaying for them? But I had a different game plan. So I'll come to that in a while. But yeah, so I was snapping them up. Then the next morning when I woke up, I saw that it dipped slightly, which I had kind of predicted. So I went on to buy more. And I went for the rarest this time. I didn't want to buy floor because I simply had too many at floor. I wanted to go for the top. So I started speaking to the only 2 Kamis that were for sale, one for 75, one for 77. The 75 wouldn't budge. The 77 seemed like she would kind of be keen to sell. So I managed to negotiate down to 47, which was also a record price at that point in time. And remember that it's only like, I think 12 to 24 hours post-review, and no one had paid past 25 except myself. So when I paid 47, I think that set the new precedence, and it just went pretty much crazy from there. So that was like the kind of whole 24 hours post-review.
Amazing. Any other NFTs that you own right now, or are you all in on Oni?
Not financial advice, but before coming on, yeah, so not financial advice.
Not financial advice. Let's make sure we throw that out there.
This is
but what are you owning out there?
Purely for entertainment purpose. I also have 56 PUBG penguins. That was my first serious project before this one, and I used to have 141 there. But I've slowly let go a little bit to de-risk, as my wife would say. It's not money till it's sold. So to let my wife be at ease and let her sleep at night, she's been having many sleepless nights. I've kind of reluctantly sold a few just to make her happy, but reinvested everything back. I haven't taken a single cent out. In fact, I've been putting way too much. But yeah, I got to put my money where my conviction lies. So I do have PUBG penguins. I do have this one. And I bought this thing called Plasma Bears pretty recently. It was 14 hours ago. I just bought quite a bit. I wouldn't say it's a lot, but I bought that. That's more like a collector's digital art. And 2 hours ago, I bought into Super Bunnies. And I currently have 75. yeah, that's about it.
Wow.
Super Bunnies, that one just dropped today, right?
Yep. So I was late. I missed it, but now I'm in. I've bought 75. That was like in the last 3 hours. And that's it. That's all I have.
That's awesome. Is there a favorite trait or characteristic that you have of the Onis? And is there one that you would love to own that you don't have right now?
So many. So many traits, so little Eve. I think I would love DALI. I don't own a DALI, and that's probably my biggest regret. And I think it's kind of out of reach for now. It's only 1 in 3, I believe. But I'm just going to let that one go. And I would say the one that I really miss the most is really the one I let go to Logan. That's my personal favorite. Out of all that I have, that one was the most painful. But it was, I saw it as something for the greater good of the entire community. And even though I know that I could have easily held on to a couple more months for a way higher price. And in fact, just what happened behind the scenes, I already have offers from people of, okay, maybe I wouldn't name drop, but I have offers for a few hundred ETH plus a CryptoPunk trade. And it wasn't a cheap CryptoPunk. It was a 85 floor. So I had offers of about equivalent of 300 to even 400 Ether. And that was before Visa bought CryptoPunk. So it's since gone up. I have no idea where the floor is now for that one. But I was offered 300 to 400 ETH for fair value. But I took the Logan trade because I knew what he could bring, and he could bring the whole community forward. And I'm not in this for the quick flip, the profits. I think if you see my activity, you kind of have realized by now.
Perfect. So, you mentioned Logan Paul. Can you just walk us through a little bit, what was that process like, dealing with Logan Paul and also, FaZe Banks, some of these, big name celebrities, reaching out to you saying, hey, I want this Oni. What did that negotiation process look like?
It was tough because I'm in Asia. They are based in US, so it's like when they are awake, I'm supposed to be sleeping. So it's a long process. FaZe reached out to me, and this was pretty cool because when he reached out, I've been a big fan. I've been in watching esports. I've been a gamer for many years in my youth, and I've kind of like watched how FaZe have evolved. So when he reached out, I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool," And I still remember that he said, "Dude, you're like the biggest owner right now. I want your Kami." And I was like, no, it's way too fast. I just bought it like 12 hours ago, and now you're coming for mine. I was like, okay, can you settle for something less? And he was like, no, I want your Kami. I was like, maybe not yet. And then he said, okay, I'll settle for the Haunted, but I will trade you 2 of my less rare ones. And the Haunted, I just bought it for 25, and it's like 24 hours or 36 hours since review. And he offered me 2 of his lesser rare ones that he bought for only 60 ETH. So I knew that it wasn't a fair trade as well. I could have held out. And in fact, I think I've seen some Haunted being sold for like 85 or 90 ETH recently by, what's his name? Haunted. Can't recall offhand, but someone who bought it for 80 something. So I knew that I could hold it out, but I knew the value that FaZe could bring as well. And this was way before Logan, because the promise he made, and this was a conditional promise. He said, give me this. I know it's not the best of deals, but I'm going to bring Logan Paul in. And he's going to bring all his pals in. And I'm going to push this. I'm going to stand behind it. And I was like, okay, deal. And he was like, what? That's it? I was like, yep, deal. And the funny thing was, I think he wanted me to do a trade. And I think he didn't know how to trade the 2 for 1. So I told him, let's go to a safe site like NFTX Trader or something. And he was like new to the site. I was new to the site as well. So it's like we were figuring out that night. I think it was like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. My wife was like, where are you? Are you in bed yet? I was like, it's going to be a long night. So I remember that he couldn't figure out the site. And because he was on an airlock Mac, and somehow Mac does not work with, I have no idea, Chrome extension or something. So he said, I can't do the trade right now until I go back to my PC. Then he's like, how about if I were to send you one first? Then you send me your Haunted, then I'll send you the other guy. I was like, doesn't sound safe. Then he was like, dude, I trust you. I'm going to send you 2 of mine. Just don't scam me. I was like, you sure? And by the way, this is something you should never do. You should never ever do this with anyone, for anyone who's watching this in the future. Yeah, don't send your NFTs or your ETH without going through a third-party trading site, an escrow site. Yeah, so that was risky by Face, but I think he really wanted it, and he kind of checked me out. So I think he knows that I'm not here to cheat his money. He couldn't have known that back then, but now he does. So he sent me 2 first, and then I sent him mine. And it took him
crazy.
like 30 seconds. And in the 30 seconds before he was confirmed, he was like, dude, where are you? Reply me. I was like, hang on. Transaction's coming through. And then it went through, and then that was it. And then he bought Logan Point, and yeah, that's how it went down.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Thanks so much for sharing that story, Ben. It looks like we're out of time. We're actually over on time, but Ben, you know, the chat loves you. We loved you. We got to have you back on either on this show, or also we're going to start doing some Twitter spaces. We're going to do one talking On1 Force. So we'll reach out to you. We want to make sure you're a part of that, because the community loves hearing these stories. So Ben, thanks so much for joining us on the roadmap today, and talking all things On1 Force.
Welcome. One final thing, if I can say before I leave.
Go for it.
Not financial advice, but I do have a couple of deals lined up with, let's just say that they are whales, not in the NFT space. They are whales in the crypto space. We are already getting them into the NFT space. So that's what I can say. So you know what to do, guys. So
yeah, we're still early.
We're early. We're gonna make it. So thanks, Ben. Thanks for joining us on the stream today.
Yep, we'll see you on Twitter, man. Thank you for joining us.
See you. And Discord.
Thanks,
bye.
Discord, yep.
Awesome. Holy cow, Maz. I mean, what a show today. We went a little long, but that's fine. We got to talk more On1 Force, right? So we got to do a Twitter Spaces. I know the community out there wants to hear more about this project. So for everyone listening in the background from the On1 team, again, thanks for coming on the show today. On1 Force, I mean, this artwork is insane. This community is insane. If you're not following this project, make sure join the Discord. That's where all the fun happens. Follow them on Twitter. Maz, anything else to add today from that interview?
The only thing I'm upset about is that I do not own a On1 Force right now. So I'm going to try to get one soon. And shout out Link. Her voice is awesome. I kept seeing on the chat, people were commenting.
Yes.
Her voice is so soothing.
A lot of compliments.
Love it.
I love it. Love it.
Exactly. Besides that, I'm excited. Like Ben said, we're early into the NFT space. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for the show. Thank you to everyone watching. I can wait to continue to bring these episodes for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. So guys, the roadmap, Benzinga's new NFT show, we're airing Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Next week, we do not have a show on Tuesday because Benzinga is actually hosting a crypto conference. So if you love all things cryptocurrency, make sure you stay tuned to YouTube next Tuesday. But we'll be back next week, Thursday. And Maz, I mean, we can't share all the names yet, but we have a calendar jam-packed with interviews of some big names and some big NFT projects. So I know I'm excited for what this show is going to keep bringing.
Let's do it. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Awesome. Well, that's going to do it, guys. Thanks again for joining us on the roadmap. There's the Twitter account we've got for the show. I also put up mine and Maz's. You can find them in the description below. And again, make sure you join On1 Force and check out that team. Thanks again, everyone, for watching the roadmap.